Welcome to Keeping Score. I'm Rick Horrow. Each week we bring you insights from the playmakers, deal makers, and rule makers in the world of sports. I'll give you my take on some of the items of the week using my 30 years of experience doing deals for teams, leagues, and players in the $750 billion business of sports. Plus, we'll talk with a central figure in the sports world. The views expressed in this podcast are my own and do not represent the views of Reuters. Let's get started. April, Easter, Passover, rite of passage, but in the golf and sports world, end of Final Four and then two other mega events, the Masters and an event at Phoenix Raceway, now called ISM Raceway. First, the Masters. Tiger Woods has returned to the tournament as a favorite. He hasn't won a major in 3,500 days. The 42-year-old, if he wins, would become only the seventh person to win the tournament age 40 or older. Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, just to name a few. What company? Augusta National's Masters revenue is north of $35 million. It'll be north of that this year. Tiger Woods boosted the secondary market price of a Thursday badge to about $3,600, a 77% increase over last year. And the tournament itself, the four-day badges, nearly $10,000. He also doesn't have AT&T, Gatorade, Gillette, and other major corporations in the wake of his 2009 sex scandal, but a lot of marketing executives tell us that if he wins or does well, he may get them back. As of last week, he was a 9-1 favorite to win another green jacket. And by the way, even if he doesn't win, and some say even if he doesn't show up, Bridgestone Golf people, we've had them on our show before, say that he's going to be a big deal in driving business, put out a new BSX Tiger Woods Edition golf ball. Portion of the proceeds go to the Tiger Woods Foundation, but Bridgestone says that he moves the needle even if he doesn't win and even if he doesn't play. Back to the Masters, Delta has a new marketing deal, 11 continents across broadcast, TV, digital, out of home. Going to Mexico City, London, Seoul, and otherwise, it's another example of how the Masters tournament thinks outside the box, even if it only has its three major TV sponsors, a lot of others affiliated. You know what? Masters pretty expensive. And while ticket prices remain expensive, one of the best aspects of the Masters is the cheap concessions. Domestic beer sets you back $4. The obligatory egg salad or pimento cheese sandwich sets you back $1.50. Unbelievable. Can't wait for Augusta National every year. A couple of days later, we go down to Phoenix. It's the Phoenix International Raceway, but yet now ISM Raceway, which has developed a new deal and an old building, $178 million new investment, large HD displays, large PA system, 51 suites, and on and on. Bottom line is they put a new naming deal together. Inside it represents how it's inside all of these deals in professional sports. Jeff Hutchings, VP Network Development of ISM Connect. They're a pioneer in smart venue technology. He started with the company a year ago, but they became the official naming rights partner of the Raceway. Their technology is involved in the facility. They also spend a significant amount of cash. But if you want to know how a naming deal is done, not just in the stick and ball sports, but on a racetrack, here's Jeff Hutchings. Sports professor Rick Horrow, Arizona, economic development, sports, tourism, commerce, all of that together. One of the co-sponsors is the Phoenix International Raceway. No, it's not. It's ISM Raceway. Yes, a lot of people are talking about it. Here's the guy that made it happen, Jeff Hutchings, Vice President, Network Development, ISM Connect. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So give us a sense of what the business is. I can do it, but you can do it better. Talk about it.
The business of ISM?
Yes.
It is engagement technology, right? It's everyone thinks that they know what a smart city is or what a connected venue or a smart venue might be, but the reality of that is it has to be a reflection of what the fans need, right? A reflection of what the visitors to the city need and what the information they need to really get through the day, right? ISM provides everything from the screens that get their attention to the applications and the connections that they use to then take that information and move about. So it is a platform, and today it's screens and mobile app and technology and beacons and all the things we have. And in 6 months from now, it'll be whatever the next necessary piece is, right? So we just added security to our platform because the world's a sad place sometimes. There's been some obvious things that no one likes to talk about, but we all want to be safe, and so security is a part of it. And whatever it is that comes up that makes the day at a smart venue or at a smart facility better, we're gonna plug in.
$178 million renovation, not really a renovation, it's basically a new facility, and you were involved in it from
100%.
the inception to the ground up. How does that help having your name on something as it's being renovated?
Well, we met with probably 10 other venues prior to making the decision to sponsor the Raceway. Some of them were doing rehabilitation, some of them were just trying to figure out how to retrofit us in. Being part of this project from the start to finish allowed us to be part of the design around where the Wi-Fi coverage would be, which allows us to then create smart engagement technology at the garage that educates fans, and we can give stuff to the teams that will let them talk about their sponsors and their driver stats and things that, had we not been here, they might not have had that connectivity, right? And so you're years down the road figuring out how to trench things, where in this scenario, it's right up front, it's part of the design, it's part of the the infrastructure and the nervous system of the Raceway. And so for us, this was just the perfect way to do it.
So you're basically new to the business. Brian Sperber, who runs PIR Raceway, comes to you and says, I want you to get involved. The ultimate trigger point to make a corporate decision of this magnitude, is it awareness? Is it a good feeling about who you're getting in bed with? Is it ROI analysis? What are the factors in a boardroom?
It's both. I mean, part of it was absolutely personality, right? I mean, we had multiple conversations. We even had conversations with multiple raceways that had projects going on. But something about the way that Brian and Scott and the team from Phoenix presented the opportunity just felt right. Right? It clicked. It made sense. We are a data-driven group. Everything we do, every camera we put up, every screen we put up, everything that somebody clicks creates a data element for us. And we do a lot of analysis around that data to figure out what's right and what's next. We did the same thing in evaluating this. So the ROI is important. The structure of the deal allowed us to figure out how to monetize over time, how to leverage the inventory and the spaces that are a part of ISM Raceway with our partners to more than cover not just what we spent, but bring additional technologies without capital, right? So that $176 million should feel like a lot more than that, right? Because there's people who are bringing technology to bear.
What's the message for the business? $450 billion of the $1 trillion sports business, we're told, is corporate sales, B2B relationships. Is the message from you, put your package together to be responsive to what corporations need?
Well, I think yes, it's that. The other thing is, I think, and I've been in, obviously, in the last year, more conversations than I can count, right? Sure. They need to be a little bit more comfortable out of the box, right? And so I come from an IT world, right? And you can't walk into a deal in the IT world and say, hi, I have this widget, I would like you to buy it, right? You have to go in and understand what's the use case, what's the success criteria, how do I get you from point A and what does your point B look like? And some of these conversations you go in and there's good listeners who will adapt what they're doing and find creative ways to do it.
That's, by the way, that's not in sports, that's in life.
That's in life. It is. It is. And I will tell that to my female counterparts too, so it'll help. But
right.
But they were willing to come out of the box. They said, well, hey, this is this cool idea we have, and here's our structure. And I went, that's awesome. Put that over there. Let me give you a completely different way to look at it. And they're okay with it, right? And so we've been in some places where they couldn't get out of the box. They couldn't get out of their own thought process of, yes, but how much would you like to give me for this label, right? Okay. I think if they're willing to listen and understand what our goals are, and if they're listening what other corporations' goals are, they're going to have a lot better time engaging us and engaging our dollars into the business. So
I guess stated another way, too, corporations have to be active partners with the asset holder, or it's not going to work. Absolutely.
If you're not here touching it, feeling it, leveraging it, you're going to look at it in a year and go, well, did I really get what I needed out of that? Or a lot of what we do is now going back to brands like ourselves to sponsor onto the network, right? And a lot of the conversations we have with them are, well, did I saturate the market? Did I really get the ROI out of it? Does what deals, what conversions, what dollars can I tie to, my NASCAR sponsorship or my IndyCar sponsorship or, even the bus shelter that they got in the city. Yeah. What we're doing is creating technology that gives them measurable calculable ROI. We're pulling it on cameras, we're pulling it from databases. That same thought process that we're getting so much really good credibility out of, I think is something that the assets and the venues can mimic, right?
So first real race when everything is finished and your name is proudly displayed on all of it is when?
November.
You have the date?
So we're doing a soft launch in March
right.
11th, but the November playoff race will be the grand opening. Right,
you're gonna lose sleep. You're not gonna sleep from like mid-October on.
I'm already not sleeping. It's exciting. Look, we have all kinds of really interesting and some crazy plans. I believe Michael Waltrip was at one point auditioning for the national anthem. It's a bucket list item. The city wants to sing it. He was doing it in the middle of a restaurant, so that's okay.
Okay.
But we're going to find interesting and cool ways to do it.
You realize if he did, you just gave away the surprise.
No. There's more. Trust me on this one.
Good.
But the point being is that I'm not going to sleep, not just because of the excitement or the stress about it, but more importantly, just the level of really just cool, once-in-a-lifetime moment that November will be.
Yeah. Can't wait to see it. Thanks,
Absolutely.
my friend. The facility will become known as a pioneer in smart venue technology, and it's a good example of how corporations are being involved in these deals, not just to activate around them, but it becomes a naming and awareness deal that's part of a $178 million investment in a new facility. Why is that important in racing? Everybody talks about how racetracks and the racing industry may be in a valley. Well, Daytona upgrade for International Speedway Corporation added about $15 million of EBITDA for their corporation's bottom line. They came up with a plan for fiscal years 17 through 2021 that allocates about $500 million for capital expenditures, including the ISM $170 million project, and it's expected to bring about $8.5 million to $9 million lift to their bottom line, according to Sports Business Journal. Overall, you spend money, you get revenue in return, and what it does is provides you a significant increase in fan comfort in the Valley of the Sun and a template for future racetracks all across North America, an event that happens this week on the IndyCar side and 2 races a year for NASCAR. I'm Rick Horrow. See you next time. Thanks for listening to this edition of Keeping Score. Our producer, Alex Cohen, associate producer, Freddie Joyner, assistance provided by Carlos Swadek, Tanner Simpkins, Jesse Leeds, and Jamie Swimmer, and the executive editor of Reuters Digital, Dan Colarusso. I'm Rick Horrow. Thanks again for listening. See you next time on Keeping Score.
Tired of wasting precious time on your data room? Introducing Merrill DataSite One, the only SaaS app for due diligence. With the new DataSite One, you set up projects in minutes, upload and search for files faster, and manage permissions in just 3 clicks, all in a data room backed by the highest level of security certification. Free yourself from data room chaos. Close more deals faster, without surprises, and with complete ease. See a live demo with the new DataSite One at merrillcorp.com. That's merrillcorp.com.